boys and girls. It's your old Uncle Sean. Are you ready for another story?
How the Camel Got His Hump, a just-so story by Rudyard Kipling. Now this is the next tale, and it tells how the camel got his big hump. In the beginning of years, when the world was so new and all, and the animals were just beginning to work for man, there was a camel, and he lived in the middle of the howling desert because he did not want to work. And besides, he was a howler himself. So he ate sticks and thorns and taramisks and milkweeds and prickles most excruciatingly idle. And when anybody spoke to him, he said, "Humph," just humph, and no more. Presently the horse came to him on Monday morning with a saddle on his back and a bit in his mouth and said, "Camel, oh camel, come out and trot with the rest of us." "Humph," said the camel, and the horse went away and told the man. Presently the dog came to him with a stick in his mouth and said, "Camel, oh camel, come and fetch and carry like the rest of us." "Humph," said the camel, and the dog went away and told the man. Presently the ox came to him with a yoke on his neck and said, "Camel, oh camel, come and plow like the rest of us." "Humph," said the camel, and the ox went away and told the man. At the end of the day, the man called the horse, the dog, and the ox together and said, "Three, oh, three, I am very sorry for you with the world so new and all. But the humph thing in the desert can't work, or else he would have been here by now. So I'm going to leave him alone, and you must work double time to make up for it." That made the three very angry, with the world so new and all, and they held a palaver, and an imbala, and a punchiette, and a powwow on the edge of the desert, and the camel came chewing milkweed most excruciatingly idle, and laughed at them. Then he said, "Humph," and he went away again. Presently there came along the djinn in charge of all deserts, rolling in on a cloud of dust. Jinns always travel that way, because it is magic. And he stopped at the palaver and powwow with the three. "Djinn of all the deserts," said the horse, "is it right for anyone to be idle, with the world so new and all?" "Certainly not," said the djinn. "Well," said the horse, "there's a thing in the middle of the howling desert, and he's a howler himself, with a long neck and long legs, and he hasn't done a stroke of work since Monday morning. He won't trot." "Phew!" said the djinn, whistling. "That's my camel for all the gold in Arabia. What does he say about it?" "He says, 'Humph,'" said the dog, "and he won't fetch and carry." "Does he do anything else?" "Only humph, and he won't plow," said the ox. "Very good," said the djinn. "I'll humph him if you will kindly wait a minute." The djinn rolled himself up in his dust cloak and took the bearing across the desert, and found the camel most excruciatingly idle, looking at his own reflection in a pool of water. "My long and bubbling friend," said the djinn, "what's this I hear of you doing no work with the world so new and all?" "Humph," said the camel. The djinn sat down with his chin in his hand and began to think a great magic, while the camel looked at his own reflection in the pool of water. "You've given the three extra work since Monday morning, all account of your excruciating idleness," said the djinn, and he went on thinking magics with his chin in his hand. "Humph," said the camel. "I shouldn't say that again if I were you," said the djinn. "You might say it once too often, Bubbles. I want you to work." And the camel said, "Humph," again. But no sooner as he said that than he saw his back that he was so proud of, puffing up and puffing into a great big lolloping humph. "Do you see that?" said the djinn. "That's your very own humph that you've brought upon your very own self by not working. Today's Thursday, and you've had no work since Monday, when the world began. Now you are going to work." "How can I," said the camel, "with this humph on my back?" "That's made a purpose," said the djinn, "all because you missed those 3 days. You will be able to work for all 3 days without eating, because you can live on your humph. And don't ever say I never did anything for you. Come out to the desert and go to the three and behave. Humph yourself." Then the camel humped himself, hump and all, and went away to join the three. And from that day to this, the camel always wear a humph. We call it a hump now, not to hurt his feelings. But he has never yet caught up with the 3 days he missed at the beginning of the world, and he has never yet learned how to behave. And that was how the camel got his hump. A Just So story by Rudyard Kipling. I'm Uncle Sean. Auntie Anne and I sure hope you enjoyed today's story. If you did, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe. And tell your friends about us on social media.